Hi everyone, my name is Dinesh Kumar and I'm recording this basically for my own records of going through this psychological transformation to become a consistent, profitable, full-time intraday trader. So this recording, if anyone gets access to in future or right now in my timelines as well, one will be able to see the transformation I am having or I had and the final outcome as well. At this moment, even I do not know what is in store for me and the challenge I'm going to face to become a consistent, profitable, full time intraday trader. So I'm using the principles of late Van Ketha by reading his books, or which is called as a Trading Beyond the Matrix, and another book which is Super Trader. So I really wanted to, undergo a coaching under him, but unfortunately, I'll not be able to possibly do it right now. And now, these are a few of the best books I have read during my journey to become a consistent, profitable, full-time intraday trader, which I am struggling to do for the last 15 years now. Usually people make videos after they are successful and just showing off their success as a trader and showing off to people that they're making lots of money. But I always actually wanted to witness any recorded evidence of anyone how they become a trader, and there was nothing that I can find in the past. So all whatever the videos I could see in the YouTube, when I search or any social media I search, everybody is just talking about I was this, I became this, and now I'm making so much of money, and some are even faking as well. So, but the truth is the big question is that whether one can become a real profitable trader, and there are many evidences people show off. But what is that journey one undergoes to really become a very consistently profitable intraday trader? So when I researched, it was very evident that it is more to do with the psychological aspect of one rather than the trading system itself. Of course, a trading system need to be well validated, well back tested, forward tested. So this entire process will go through. But in this particular series of videos which I'm going to do, is going to be more on the psychology of a trader, which I believe 95% is psychology, and of course you need a strong technical system or a fundamental system for one to really make money. So I always, as I said, wanted recorded evidence of how one becomes very successful, profitable trader, and what kind of the psychological challenge one goes through. Because nobody talks about that. They only talks about here is entry, here is exit. You have to just follow this, and like a black box, or even the strategy is all there. But what undergoes ultimately, we're all human beings, right? So there is something about emotions, right? So what's exactly happening and how to come out of that? And since the last 15 years I've been doing here and there, doing big profit, have made some big achievements, but still I really feel that the journey is still, I have to travel a lot and I still have not reached. So I said, when I'm starting an intraday system has itself, so let me record a psychological part of it as well. Okay. Now, uh, now let's just get in. Now, what I will be doing is about me and my story. I will narrate my story for sure once I have reached a good milestone. Okay. And now let us focus on the process of psychological transformation required for me to become a consistent, profitable, full time intraday trader. I'm going forward with a theory that people trade their belief and not the market itself. Okay. So now first let's understand the basic question as what is a belief? Belief is anything you or I say reflects one or more belief, including this sentence which I'm going to say. For example, I could make a statement saying that I am a trader. Now, this is a belief of who I am, or at least what I believe I am. Okay. Generally, beliefs about capabilities would have the words kind of can, cannot, For example, let's take an example. I could say it is possible to make 50% profit per month doing intraday trades. This is the capability beliefs. Now we're just understanding. Okay. Just have a open mind. Anyway, this is recorded for me to also review in the future. So I'm just going through the process. I'm stating everything, then step by step I'll be going through all the process and see how whether I'm able to transform. If I'm able to transform, how my transformation journey would be. Okay. Now, people do not act upon direct real world information. They act upon information that passes through neurological, social, and individual filters. These are all the three aspects in which an individual gets his or her information, or I would get this information from the real world. And we don't act upon the real world directly, right? It is very important to understand these things from the very basic level so that I can work on them and can go forward in this journey. Now we will take one by one. Okay. Now in the presentation slide, let's move to this three. As you can see in the screen, these are all the filters which one need to work upon. Now filter number one, which is the neurological filter, and it defines by the limit of the sensory mechanism through which they receive that information. For example, we can see we can only see visible light. Correct. We can only see the visible light and hear audible sound. We cannot detect most of the energy levels around us. Correct. Now we can only feel the difference between 2 points only millimeters or so far from our skin of our fingertips. So we can only sense that from the skin, right? And yet we cannot feel some point of about inches away from our back. We're not able to sense it. So we do not perceive the real world because we are only wired to be able to detect a small portion of it. So our information is only, when our skin touches or smell or we can see, hear, right? These are all the sensory organs, wherever this senses we are able to get. So we only acquire that information. Now, around energy around us, we can feel the difference between these things. We do not perceive the real world because we only wired, as I told you, with a small portion. Now, the second type of filter, which is a social filter. These are filters or beliefs that are shared by a common group of people. For example, language. So there are certain perceptions and the moral values, right? And what you believe is strongly influenced by the social filter you wear. Suppose there was an exercise to go out to the shopping mall and and you go and ask five strangers for a hug. For example, if I have to do that. So the things which comes to my mind immediately is I do not actually hug people and it's just not done. And I do not approach strangers and I may be feeling safe. In fact, I do not even like to talk to a stranger. I might get a slap or rejection from few of them. People will think that I am crazy. Look at the kind of thoughts by simple exercise. When I even have to think. So these are all which is coming. These are all the social filters. So I have so many social filters which I need to work upon. So this instantly, which is happening to me as I'm recording this and going through this small, exercise. And while neurological filters dictate the information limits of all human beings, social filter distinguish group of human beings, right? Those who speak, for example, Kannada, would have a different filter than people who speak Hindi, than people who speak Bengali, or who speak English. So every based on the language, there are various social filters which gets applied, right? The way we think, the way we process our information. This will have a greater impact in the trading. For example, people who use the GAN magic numbers, right, will have a different perspective of the market from those who do not. Similarly, traders who use option chain will develop different expectation about the market from those who do not see them. Now, the market is the same. Now, one using GAN will have a different perspective. One using option chain will have different perspective. Somebody using stochastic, RSI, whatever. So each one has got a different perspective. Now, kind of socially, we are divided on the same market, different perspective. Now, let's talk about the individual filters. This is very important. Or one owns personal history, so it's talking about a personal history. For example, I am my personal history, and that history provides a set of unique filters and beliefs through which he or she views the world. This means that no two people will perceive the world in the same way. For example, my unique experience shapes my belief about the world. We can take few more examples, like a trader who has initial success in the bear market may only feel comfortable in the bear market because the model that trader developed allows he or her to expect success in such down markets. Now we'll be going through the belief and the experience. So let me just change the slide. Okay. So here, I'll just take you through this little fast, because we'll be using this model for each of them in further videos. So this video is kind of setting the place. Okay. For myself, if I have to come back and see on what base I'm working. So this video will be my own reference as well. So the first step in the process is to being aware of the thoughts flow which happens in the conscious state. For example, as I'm recording this, let me see what kind of a thought I'm getting. So, what the thought which I'm just getting right now is all these efforts I'm putting in and taking is worth it, or am I wasting my life? Seriously, this is a thought, and this I did generate. It just came, right? This thought is not generated by me, but I've just got it. So we have to be aware of the thought and we record them as a process in the future. And step number two, I believe the thought. I actually believe it right now, right? And I identified it, whether it is worth or not. That means kind of I accepted it, not even questioning it. So that comes to the step number two. This is all our internal process, what we are understanding. And this process is what we will use to kind of, especially I'll be using this process to kind of get my transformation level. So the third step is the belief integrates with other beliefs and start filtering experience has emotional charge may lock it in place, right? We'll take an example a little later. So right now, let's just understand. So now this belief, what we got, it is worth doing this. Now this belief gets integrated with, I have other beliefs, right? I have other beliefs. You also have other beliefs. So now this gets integrated into that. And it creates an emotional charge. Emotional charge like fear or anger, it just creates those things. And we go to the step number four. Now, the belief which is integrated with other beliefs, now it applies a filter on an unconscious level, seeking supporting evidence and ignores contrary evidence. This is how the human, mind works when we get. Now, whatever this not worth it, is it worth? Now it has got supporting. Now it is searching for the evidence inside the mind, the previous experiences which I have gone through, where it pulls out and it kind of only takes the evidence which is supporting the counter evidence. It ignores. Okay, this is the way usually it happens inside. Now, step number five: given the evidence, action is taken inside or in line with the belief is feels natural. Now, any evidence, which you have, if the action is taken within the boundary of limits of the belief, it's natural. And in step number six, and this is given as a feedback to four, so it starts collecting evidence. This is what happens, with us for every thought. So as a trader, one need to work. We'll come to that. How the thoughts come, what all the thoughts, what is a belief. So I need to work on each of them, okay? Maybe 200, 300 of them. So I will go through that. So if an attempt is made to take action that would move outside the belief, creates a level of discomfort ocean to charge. So when you move out of that, so it creates a discomfort, and that charge is again looped back to step four, which again it collects more evidence. For example, you did something which is outside the belief, and you failed. For example, I failed, and that again loops back to four, and it creates more evidence for the future, right? So this is a very, very typical thing which happens with a trader. For example, let me just take an example. This is step number one, what you're seeing on the screen. For example, today is the RBI announcement. Uh, so market will be very volatile, and I have high probability of making a loss. This is my thought. Okay, as a trader, this comes to mind when this announcement is happening. As intraday trader, this comes. Now, second, internally, what happens? I started believing it has the RBL announcement event is a real event. So I don't question internally, it just gets, accepted. And step number three, now this belief starts integrating with my other thoughts. Other thoughts, like immediately it starts integrating. For example, I already have a few belief system. Actually, I need to be working on all the things which I'm saying right now in this video, which is like uh, intraday traders do not make money, and there are various reports, which is publishing saying that only like 90% of the traders lose money trading the derivatives, and during the previous event days, right, have book loss. So these are all the other beliefs. So now this gets integrated into that. Now there is a charge which is developed, which is a fear, right? Right now the fear charge is already developed. Now this belief further filters and seeks evidence of my past experience. Now it's just my mind, inside my mind, everything starts throwing up. Then that you lost there, you lost here, on that event you traded, this happened and this happened. Like so many evidence, election, the budget, so many events when you trade this happened, and all that evidence supporting you, given back as a feedback in the step number four. Step number five, one action I can take is that I accept all those things and take an action in line with my belief. That is, I do not trade with a psychological, psychologically, I justify it's a natural process, like already you are doing. So you're doing it right, kind of a feel generally one gets when you do not trade. Now, and it moves back to step four, saying that yes, see, you didn't trade. That can be condition number one. Condition number two, still, I go ahead and take a trade. And there is two things again which can happen. One is I hit my stop loss, for example. Then this moves back to four, and then my mind starts saying, "Look, I told you don't trade." It's all happening internally. I'm talking about working on myself now. Okay, now it's all about me right now, and I'm recording this so that I could understand and improve myself every day. And which I stop losses. There can be another condition which is like I take the trade and market starts moving in my favor. Still, what will happen is that there is a high probability that I might exit at my cost. Little bit, market going down, coming back, I exit at my cost, Or even if I book profit, it will be a very, very small profit. Why? Because the charge of fear is very high. This is what I want to work. This is only one example. There are so many things which is actually stopping me. I could understand that. That's the reason it's all effort of creating this video and going through this. Now, let's go to the next one. So this is the belief hierarchy. Now, this process, before that, this process is what we'll be using continuously for each of the belief and see how I can transform myself, go to the next level, how I can kind of replace a belief or how I can remove the charge which is already there within me. So let's find out that on a as we go forward. So this particular video recording is only the base and understanding what is a principle, what is a model, what is a process I will be using further. Now, belief hierarchy, if you see, there are various hierarchy beliefs like environmental, behavioral, capability, value beliefs, identity beliefs, spiritual beliefs. So these are all the different categories, kind of a thing like a pyramid, and the base is the spiritual, belief, which is the core, like the higher self, and how you are able to one can how whether I'm able to connect or not, I don't know at this moment, right? But I will go through all the process which is suggested and see how this transformation can really help. So this is all I would want to record in this, and in the next video which I'll be recording, where I have an homework of having 200 beliefs to be noted down, and I will record all the 200 beliefs, and one by one each belief will go through this process. Okay, so I'll be going through this process and see how each belief I'm able to kind of replace it, or how I'm able to transform myself. And as I also need to move fast, so I will initially start doing based on my time, because I also need to trade, and evening I need to work on myself. So see however how much ever I can do. So we will take it forward based on that. Okay. With that, I will close this, and let's do it. Yeah. This is also very important, which I just want to kind of say. So these are all the typical questions I'll be going through for each of the belief. Okay, this is the process, like recognizing the belief and asking a couple of questions deliberately, like as you can see on the screen. So this I'll not go through, because anyway I'll be doing all the 6 in practice for each of my belief, and I'll be recording that as well for my reference, right? With that note, I will conclude this video, and catch up in the next video. And in case you happen to see it in my timeline as a record, and if you are able to follow, you could also put in the comments, and any other beliefs that you also have. We can collaboratively work. If not, if you're seeing this after few weeks, months, or years, it's okay. And by that time, you would also have an kind of clear evidence as to how all the things kind of works. We can go through that. Okay.